Hi guys, how you going? Today we're going to be talking about how I use AI with my music. Interesting topic because I know some people hate it, some people love it. So let's dive in. Alright, so the first time I used AI was with my Spotify canvases. So I was just browsing YouTube to get help with it, and I came across a guy, I think it's John Gold from Hyped It. I use Hyped It on my SoundCloud for like free downloads and stuff like that. And he was very big on boosting streams on Spotify. So one of his videos was talking about how to make a Spotify canvas using Midjourney, which runs through Discord. So that was my first interaction with AI. Of course, I was very skeptical to use it to begin with. I didn't like all the cartoonish kind of designs that it had at the time. This was probably like 2 or 3 years ago. AI is definitely better now, so it turned out to be quite helpful. It's pretty cool how you can turn artwork design into video now, even though it's just for like 5 seconds or whatever. It's still really cool. However, I do not use AI to make my music, so all my music is still 100% me. I do not agree with any of that whatsoever. I think, what's the point? If a computer can just do it for you, then I don't know. Even if it works, it's like, it's not going to make you feel much better about yourself. And then I know that like some people are using AI music to make money on Spotify, which is really dodgy, by the way. But I want more than just like money and clout and all that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? I'm going more for like fulfillment, I guess. So yeah, so obviously I draw the line at making music. So I basically use AI or ChatGPT for the most part. Basically like an assistant. I mean, that's literally what it's designed for, right? So it helps me with admin. I pretty much only use it when I get stuck. So if I need a push or I kind of need help with putting my words together, things like that, writing YouTube titles, etc., then I go to AI. So it's mostly like background admin stuff, not the actual music itself. I don't really use it for brainstorming track ideas. I'm usually quite full of ideas. Recently I had a creative block and I went to ChatGPT and I said, oh, usually I follow my schedule and this week I'll do hypnotic techno, this week I'll do melodic, this week I'll do hard techno, but I really didn't feel like anything at all. And then it kind of like guided me through other ways to look at it, which was really helpful. And it just kind of got me, again, I was stuck. So it got me off the blocks. I think that was pretty much last week and I made my track, No Escape, the industrial techno track. I basically just told it I wanted to make something like super dark and super heavy, and then I went in that direction. But it did help though, for sure. Like I said before, YouTube titles for sure. I generally get it to do things that I don't like. So things like that, I don't really care, but I know that it's important as well. So it's really good at that too, mind you. So TikTok captions, Instagram captions for sure. With video scripts, I've literally done one for this video. It's not a script really though. I generally get it to like ask me questions so I can kind of work off something. And yeah, it's just quick. It's so quick. Because like me preparing for this video manually probably would have taken me an hour or two just to come up with stuff when I can just run a prompt through ChatGPT and it gives you an answer like that. It's just crazy. I go for it for content ideas sometimes. Again, if I'm stuck and I don't really know what to post, I'll be like, what's a lazy, low effort way to make an Instagram reel? Or like, give me a lazy, long form YouTube idea. I'm not usually the biggest fan of its ideas, but at least it kind of gets you like thinking and like, oh yeah, I could do something with that and so on and so forth. More recently, I have been using it with producing. So I've been fine tuning stuff. I think I've been trying to kind of speed things up, I guess. So reduce the amount of time that it takes for me to prepare something and then to actually get going. I've been looking into like, yesterday I was asking it like, what are the main components of a dark techno track? And then a couple of weeks ago as well, I was asking it about arrangement tips and planning, which was really good, like really good. So before I was going into a track with just a blank canvas. Now I've got all these kind of markers for like intro, break, and like notes on how I want that section to feel. And I don't know, it's just a lot more well planned, which is really nice. Huge mental kind of, it's like lifting a weight off my chest, basically. Yeah, it's just a lot easier, really. I used to send it my music and I'd get a lot of error messages being like, oh, it can't process this and it can't process that. And half the time, even if it did give me feedback, I'm like, did you actually listen to it? Or is it just kind of like, I don't know, I just didn't really trust it all that much. Considering how many error messages I was getting, I just didn't think it was very reliable. Maybe that technology will come in the future, but I don't know. I definitely went through release strategies with ChatGPT. This was ages ago. I've been using the same release strategy for like the last 2 or 3 years. I'm still in the growth phase, so my release strategy at the moment is to just pump out as much music as I can. I watched a Henry Fong video the other day and I saw how like complex it is to do a proper release strategy when you're an actual professional DJ. He had like a 6-step process for one song. I basically just like make the song, make a couple of like short form videos for it, post it on YouTube, and then I'm good to go. You know what I mean? It's pretty basic. So, and then obviously things like troubleshooting Ableton problems, which hardly ever happens. But yeah, if I've got like basic computer problems, I'll ask AI how to help me with it. Has it made me a better producer? I'd say yeah, by like 1 or 2%. I think it more so helps with like content and yeah, just admin stuff. I know it sounds really boring, but like the background shit is more helpful, I think. I think that AI is piss poor for creativity. It is so bad. It's like a robot telling you how to be creative, you know what I mean? It's like no wonder it kind of, there's just the two just don't blend very well together. I think usually when it tells me to do something creative, I cringe a little bit. I don't know, because I think music is a lot about expression, and if you've got like some computer telling you how to express yourself, it just, there's like some kind of incongruency. You know what I mean? I don't know how else to describe it, but it makes me cringe. Like half the time with my hard techno stuff, it'll tell me, oh, you just use like metallic hits and like use metallic percussion and all this crap. Like, I don't know, like yeah, it's just really basic, kind of simple. It's just not very good, yeah. Mind you though, one thing that AI is quite helpful with is, say for instance, you watch a YouTube tutorial on like how to make an industrial techno kick, and the producer is using like FL Studio and they're using all these like random plugins and all this kind of stuff. AI is really good for like, how can I apply this to Ableton, to like another DAW or another software program, and it kind of finds like replacement options. So it really helped me with making my industrial techno kicks like really super heavy and really aggressive, because I think at the start I was making kicks that sounded big and nice and fat and round, but it didn't have that kind of like sharp kind of aggressive like rum 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 kind of sound. And I got that with the help of AI. Basically, that's probably the biggest thing it's ever helped me with. But yeah, like I said before, AI completely fails with creativity, which is like one of the biggest components of music. So definitely don't recommend for beginners, by the way. You shouldn't blindly copy its advice because it's very confident even when it's making mistakes. So the way that you use AI is very important. A lot of people diss on AI because it's not kind of, you see like these really popular YouTubers there, they make like these really viral YouTube videos on how like dumb and stupid AI is, but the way that they're using it in the videos is like, it's like no wonder AI is not doing what you want it to do. That's a really obvious example, but like some people will literally be using AI and don't know that they're doing something wrong with it. So it's a skill in and of itself. I think experience definitely trumps AI as well. The best person that can teach you is you. Like 100%. There's nothing like, practice makes perfect. Like there's nothing that's gonna help you out more than experience. A computer can only give you guidance, you know what I mean? AI definitely has this funny feeling of cheating as well, even though I know I'm not cheating. Because the way I see AI is like, it's like Google, but on steroids. Like back in like the early 2000s, you'd look up like help on a topic and it would give you all these like headings and links to click on that were in reference to those words. But AI literally gives you like the fucking, goes straight to the point and in an instant as well. I don't really blame people that hate on AI. I think, especially in music, it's very cringe. I think a big part of music is like you're not only connecting with the music, you're also connecting with the artist as well. And I think if a computer made the song, it's just like, it's a bit soulless and it's like, well, what's the point? It's cool that the technology can do that, but it ruins the experience of it. I personally love AI though, because I spent like 10 years doing all this kind of stuff all on my own. I don't think people realize how like depressing that was. The amount of times that I needed help and I just had no, I'd go to some like stupid YouTube video. Even the tutorials these days are like way better. Like back in the day, you had hardly any help at all. It's the most depressing shit ever. Like I think some people need to realize like how good this technology actually is. It's insane. It's insane. Yeah. Another interesting thing is like, is AI different from using Google or YouTube? Google has AI built into it now. I personally think that ChatGPT is better than Google. I'll go to Google if I need something like super quick or if I'm already using it. But yeah, like I said before, as a beginner, I would definitely go to YouTube tutorials for help with producing and DJing because you get a visual component and you also get someone kind of like telling you what to do. Obviously with ChatGPT, it's all text. It's kind of boring, to be honest. Even if it does work, it's not very like enjoyable. You want to enjoy your experience, your learning as well. I don't think that AI is going to be able to replace musicians or producers. I think people will always want that like human connection. I think AI music is just going to be used for people to try and make money out of it. Like I was watching a YouTube video the other day how Drew Gooden was talking about how the music industry is broken at the moment. And he was basically arguing that Spotify create all their own playlists and they use a whole bunch of AI music on those playlists. So say, for instance, something like deep relaxation or sleep music. And then people will just play those songs that have been uploaded by Spotify and then they'll go to sleep for 8 hours. So the whole playlist has been played through while they were sleeping, and then kind of Spotify can milk streams and money out of that, if that makes sense. I think that's how most people would use AI music. Otherwise, what's the point? You know what I mean? You're trying to be a musician and you're getting a computer to make all the music for you. Like, bro, how stupid. I also think that AI can't really replicate the human touch. I know it sounds really cliche, but it is kind of true. I think when you're a producer, you recognize how complicated producing actually is and how dynamic it is. And then just for a computer to just come up with something on its own, I don't know. I just don't think it can I just don't think it can replicate a human's touch. And I think too that imperfections as well in a song can actually make a song better than just a purely perfect track that's been made by an AI robot. And also too, I think part of the fun of music is like you'll see a musician in an interview or something like that. You see like little marketing things or music videos, stuff like that. Obviously a robot can't do that. But yeah, like I keep saying, you want to connect with the artist. I don't think a computer can do that. Like I said before, I'm making content and just my workflow in general is a lot faster than it would be without the use of AI. It's definitely helped me stay consistent as well. I found this a really useful tool with ChatGPT. Is like when you're kind of feeling a bit down and like, oh, it's really slow or kind of like, oh, I'm not doing very well at the moment. It can like really like boost your confidence and just help you to kind of keep going and to not give up. It's very encouraging, which was a surprising thing that I found. I mean, I knew it was going to help me, but I didn't know it was going to help me to the extent that it did, which was really cool. I don't think I'd be posting nearly as much content as well without the use of AI. No way. No way. Not even close. Yeah, just... I remember what it was like when I didn't have it. I was very slow, like very slow. So it's very helpful, very useful. My favorite is ChatGPT, by the way. I forgot to mention that. So yeah, so mostly I'm using ChatGPT and Midjourney for making my artwork for graphics. So Midjourney does the cover art and it also does the video for the Spotify canvas. Mind you, I still have to do my own editing with those images and those videos to kind of really nail it. Because AI would just give you kind of like the draft image and then you kind of have to work with that. It's just usually a bit of color grading and some like... Obviously with industrial techno and stuff, I've got to make it look all like grungy and things like that. It'll usually give me a very clean image and then I have to kind of like add texture to it basically, yeah. And then basically I use ChatGPT just for admin work and content. If I could only keep one, what would it be? I'd probably keep ChatGPT because you can technically make or create images through ChatGPT, so... If I had to only pick one, I'd pick ChatGPT for sure. I definitely do not recommend that new producers use AI. Like I said before, use YouTube. YouTube is way better. Like way better. Use AI for like, if there are things where you need help and you can't find or you can't get that specific problem fixed by watching YouTube tutorials or whatever and you have to go to AI, then do that because that will happen. But yeah, I definitely recommend YouTube for beginners. You can learn anything on YouTube, so YouTube's sick. It's really good. I think the biggest takeaway I want people to remember from this video is it's a great tool, but you don't want to depend on it. It's extremely helpful. I don't think people realize if we didn't have it, it's made everything so much easier. Like, why not use it? Don't be a hater. If AI disappeared tomorrow, what would you miss the most? Probably just the admin stuff. So how it writes all the captions and YouTube titles and does all the color grading for me in Premiere Pro and things like that. Like the annoying stuff. That's what I would miss the most. I wish AI kind of looked a bit more realistic. I've been using ChatGPT to kind of like generate some photo shoots for me recently, and I just wished it looked a bit more like real. I feel like that's where they need to kind of improve. It still has that kind of like little bit of a fake look to it, so I just wished it looked a bit more, even though it's still really good. I wish it would look a bit more realistic with its image generation and the video tool. Have you ever followed AI advice that turned out to be terrible? Yes. There's a song, if you want to go listen to it, it's called Residual. It's not a terrible track. It's not awful, but it's way too long. Like way too long. I followed AI's advice on that song like tit for tat, and it's just so drawn out because it was basically because I was trying to make a sad melodic techno track, and it was basically telling me that like, oh, you know, if you draw it out, it like makes the sadness stronger, you know what I mean? But yeah, it just wound up being like 2 or 3 minutes of just like ambient sounds that, I don't know, just, yeah, it wasn't, I kind of turned away from that track at the end of it and I was like, not very good. What's something AI can never replace? It cannot replace the human touch. How much of your workflow is AI versus you? I'd probably say it's like 25% AI. It's a big chunk, mind you. I'm being probably a little bit generous with that, but yeah, it does a lot for me now. I'm very grateful, very thankful for AI. I know some people are going to hate that, but I really am. But yeah, anyways, going to end the video there, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. See you on the next one.